6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
What we do here is go back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live chat. I'm Steven Jensen. That's Jessi Davin. We're going to be talking about WWE Backlash. We're going to be talking about COVID in the WWE. I think, Jessi, are you muted? Are you talking to Scarlett?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a call from the teacher, so hold on a second.
Oh, no problem. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
it was working. So yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of WWE stuff, maybe some AEW, whatever else y'all want to talk about. So welcome everybody to the chat. If you have a super chat, we'll make sure to prioritize anything you want to talk about. So if you have a question, comment, statement, if there's something about Backlash that you liked or you didn't like, you just want your voice heard in general, any amount of super chat, we'll make sure to make your voice heard. We'll do the best we can to give you your money's worth. And also, please, throughout the show, let us know if the audio and the video sounds all right. Every now and then there's like an echo with the audio and stuff, and I do keep my eye on the chat for that. I really appreciate the feedback to let me know that things sound good or don't, and I try to fix that throughout the show. So I'll just kind of put that out there for y'all who are watching now. And yeah, before we get started, Jessi, how you doing?
Okay, hold on a second, really quick. There in time. Okay, sorry. We just had some unexpected drama. Good drama. Okay, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. A little bit shook by the recent news that we've been seeing about a person, an employee of WWE at the Performance Center testing positive. A little bit upset about that. I have a lot to say about it. But I am doing okay right now. Still a little bit feeling yucky. But hopefully I'll be doing better. How are you doing?
We're doing good. I thank you, Dylan's Wrestling Stuff, for the subscription. Very much appreciated. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
much.
Dylan, just so you know, if you're new to the chat, along with the super chat, don't feel like you have to send a second one for this, but like, you're, awarded, whatever you want to say on the show. So if you have something, you
Yeah.
tell everybody, if there's a question or anything that you have, or if you want to just give us money, that's fine too. But like,
Thank you so much, Dylan.
yeah, we want to make sure we get your money's worth. Thank you very much for the sub over here on Jesse's channel. What was I about to say before I got sidetracked by that awesome super chat?
Yes, that's a great sidetrack.
Demon Diva's in the house.
Oh,
Tell Roman I say hi.
yes. Hi.
What? And we were talking about COVID.
How are you doing? Well,
How I was doing. Yeah, that's right. I may or may not have gone off screen to do something just a second ago that I'm very tired. I got my mango White Claw it's already 2 in the afternoon, whatever. I pulled an all-nighter doing video editing for MMA On Point last night. So I'm running on hardly any sleep. Haven't ate hardly anything in like the last 2 days. Just video editing marathons, but I'm looking forward to talking about wrestling. So everything's good. You know what I mean? No complaints.
Yeah. That's great. That's good. Well, I hope you get some rest eventually. I mean, all-nighters, especially at our age, is pretty rough, so.
It's definitely different. Definitely different. I used to be able to handle it a lot better.
When I was in Vegas for Double or Nothing weekend, like, what was that, a year ago? I like maybe got a total of maybe 6 hours of sleep over like, what was that, 4 days, 5 days? By that last day, I was like delusional. I was living off Bang energy drinks.
I've never actually drank that.
They're really good. They're really good. I can't drink them right now, but I love them. I like the flavor too. So, yeah.
I've seen what's Trevor Wallace, the comedian dude. I saw him. He did like a skit on Bang Energy. That I thought was
yeah. I mean, they wake you up. I lived on artificial energy and I crashed. So, yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know what you want to talk about first. I guess, I don't know. I'm not really sure what we should. I mean,
we might as well just start off with like the COVID stuff, considering.
yeah.
And then we'll do a backlash review, just match by match, kind of talk about our thoughts on that. Yeah. So somebody tested positive in WWE. I believe this is their second positive test, right? But this is like one no one knew about, but like people have still been showing up without knowing that someone failed, and people who don't work for or in the Performance Center coming in for Raw. And you were mentioning before we went on air here about you can't even be on television apparently if you want to wear a mask and stuff like that. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay. John Alba, who works for Central Florida News 13, used to love watching that in Orlando, by the way. He has just
Wait, is that the West Channel?
No, it's It's the Central Florida News 13. It's like the Central Florida News channel. It's like the one that's like 24 hours. You know what I'm talking about? It's like only on Spectrum cable now, though, which sucks. Which is so stupid.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's a really good channel. WWE statement just 31 minutes ago. Fans have not been in attendance at WWE events since March 13th. Yesterday, a select number of friends and family were permitted to attend WWE's TV production. These individuals were required to participate in medical screenings prior to entering the closed set at our training facility and were kept apart from in-ring performers and production personnel. Attendance was below 20% capacity. Who cares? And social distancing guidelines were adhered to with at least 6 feet between parties. No, it wasn't. Thus, face masks were not required. That's a bold-faced lie. That's a bold-faced lie. You cannot tell me you watched 3 hours of Raw last night and saw everybody within 6 feet at all times. That's a lie. And it says, and it is true though, that if you are adhering to the 6 feet guidelines, they don't require face masks. The face masks are required if you are going to be within that 6 foot, like, margin. And I see someone, so everyone's going to jump on WWE and not say anything about AEW. AEW has been testing their talent. From what I know, they've at least tested everybody at least once. I believe they've been testing everybody. I don't know if it's every week, but I know that they've been testing their performers. WWE has not tested any of their performers once. So that tells me that this person started showing symptoms, felt sick, went to their own doctor, got tested positive. Number one, that's a big issue to me. Huge issue to me. Number two, it has been reported by Sean Ross Sapp that people with temperatures above normal, which, to be fair, I'm a warm person. Sometimes my temperature is like 99.1, 99.2, just normal. But they've had above normal temperatures, and they've been let into the PC. These medical screenings are temperature checks and the question, are you feeling sick? It's better than nothing. Absolutely.
But still, yeah, right.
Absolutely better than nothing. But you know what? At least AEW is testing their performers. You want to shit on me? You can shit on me all you want. But at least they're doing tests. At least they're doing tests. You know what? WWE is not testing any of their performers. And you have 71-year-old Ric Flair, who's been on his deathbed twice out there, walking out there last night. Like, I'm just really upset. I'm really upset. And you know what? I don't blame the performers one bit. I don't blame them at all. This is purely management issue. Because honestly, if I'm a WWE talent, I'm not speaking up. I don't want to lose my job. Sure, I could, fight it and say, oh, that's legal or whatever. You can't do that. But I'm not speaking up. I would be scared. And a lot of people are saying that, they say if you want to wear a mask, don't come. That's being disputed. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But I have a major issue with this. And if it comes out that more people are testing positive, I pray that no one else is testing positive. I pray that no one else tests positive. Because you know what? Wrestlers are pretty damn healthy people. For the most part, they engage in very healthy, somewhat, I'm assuming, behaviors. They live a very healthy lifestyle. They eat well. They train. They take care of themselves. They kind of have to. If they have injuries sometimes, they got to go to the doctor. They take care of themselves. So I'm really hoping that no one else tests positive. But here's the problem. They're at the Performance Center. The Performance Center is where everything is being filmed. It's not like we're saying, oh, well, it's just the PC. Okay, so we've still got Raw. We've still got SmackDown. We're going to be okay. NXT is over at Full Sail. No. Everything's at the PC right now. So everybody's at risk. And so I don't know. We'll see. I'm assuming. I personally would like the talent to know before I do how many other people are testing positive. I don't really want to know the identity of the person because that's none of my business. But this could potentially be a very huge issue.
Yeah. I mean, well said. I can't really add anything to that. I think it's really interesting, very surprising that they haven't been testing up to this point. I assumed that they were, especially considering the UFC has tested everybody involved with any of their shows, every show they've done back. Even, Jacare Souza, one of the UFC fighters, tested positive. It was either him and a family member tested positive a month or so ago, and they did their the due diligence. So they took the precautions. They made sure that he was like away and he didn't have to fight anymore, and he went home, and they figured out how to deal with it. And I was telling you before the show, UFC President Dana White, the last time I heard him talk about it, which was about a week or so ago, I believe he said he'd been tested himself 7 different times, and it's probably been even more than that since then. But he does it like Joe Rogan for his podcast. He interviews a lot of his people still in person in his studio. He has a doctor that comes over and he tests every single person that walks through the door. And the reason I bring up these examples are because, the WWE obviously has the money to do it. So, like, I don't know why they haven't been. I see Jay Daniels saying more.
Yeah.
I don't see AEW doing anything. I don't see AEW doing anything different than WWE on TV.
They're testing their performers. They're not testing them on TV. What does that have to do with
do we know they're being tested for sure?
I know they've at least been tested once. They've said it.
Because I just don't know.
At least they've tested them once. I see people wearing masks on television in AEW.
Yeah, I mean they seem to care more. I don't know enough about AEW to be able to compare the two. Obviously AEW is my favorite wrestling company in the world. I fucking love AEW, but I don't know enough about if and how often they're testing their performers.
This is not, and I need to be clear, this is not an AEW versus WWE issue, nor should it be. Like, I care about WWE performers. I care about their safety because I do love WWE. I love AEW. I love AEW a little bit more, of course, but I love both. And it won't be long until someone in AEW tests positive because Tony Khan don't care as long as... You know what? If someone tests positive in AEW, we'll see
the same reaction, yeah.
Same reaction. I'll be mad, of course, because... at the same time, it's like these guys are being at risk. My anger, here's the thing. I'm not mad at someone in WWE for catching the Rona, okay? It's going to happen. I literally, as we're talking, as you were discussing and talking about Dana White and all that, I had a notification from the local newspaper that, where I live. We have had a single-day record. Hold on a second. Scarlett, can you turn that down a little bit, please? Scarlett, can you please turn it down? Thank you. We've had a new single-day record for cases, and we've gotten over 80,000 here in the state of Florida. So I'm not mad at anybody in WWE for catching the Rona. I feel like at this point, any of us could. We're all assuming risk when we go outside. We're all assuming risk when we go to work. We're all assuming risk when we go shopping or like these wrestlers. I'm really upset that no one in WWE has been given a test. Not everybody has been tested. I feel like if you're going to run a company and you're going to do this, you should at least test your performers. That's what I'm angry about. Because
understandably, especially they're touching each other at workings. It's you know what I'm saying, like it's
they're sweating all over each other.
Yeah, you're even in it happens more so in AEW I think than in WWE, but like there's a lot of AEW matches where they incorporate like people like fish hooking, like you know what I mean, like got people like fingers in people's mouths and shit like all the time. Like Jimmy Havoc's weird ass is like out there like probably licking people and shit. I don't fucking know, but you know what I mean. Like that's what I'm saying is like you're at close proximity. You're up against people. Like you have to be. That's why the UFC they test everybody every time. Like there's been some fighters that have fought multiple times throughout the pandemic, and they've probably been tested 2 to 4 times a piece, like every person, like they keep testing them and making sure. And I think what they're even doing is like they'll test them when they get there and like, make sure everything's good. And then they test them again and they can't like leave for like 2 weeks or something before they're allowed to like go back because that's like they're being like super diligent about it. And
Jake,
like I said,
I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything to Jake. I'm just trying to make my point here. Also, sorry. Continue.
No, I get it. And Jake, I appreciate you joining the chat.
Absolutely.
And your thoughts out there. It's totally fine. Because I don't necessarily disagree with what he's saying either.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
I just, all I can hope is that WWE Diva says the performers should have also came together and asked for the testing. Well, that leads into a whole conversation I could have that would take up everyone's entire. Or what's the day is today? Tuesday.
Yeah.
Everyone's entire Tuesday. It's baffling to me that the wrestlers. This is the same in mixed martial arts that neither have ever unionized, like a real bargaining agreement like you see in all other major sports.
Yeah.
This is where a union would be very handy for WWE performers because you have people like Roman Reigns, for instance, who sit at home, but like he's safe. The company's not gonna let him go or fire him, or you know what I mean. Like Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
okay, but it's the like I'm just literally just picking a random ass name. But imagine it's like if like Oni Lorcan decided he wanted to do the same thing for the same reason, like his job's at risk, and that's where the union is so important because it puts the top tier performers and the lesser known and lesser valued performers, they're put in the same position in the same category, collectively bargaining with the company. So if like that's why you see like strikes in sports, for instance, where it might be a whole group of like lower tier athletes, but enough of them that are unwilling to participate, then they'll all go on strike together, and that includes all the superstars and all. So that's where I think it really. We're seeing a lot of MMA right now, and this is an MMA podcast, so I'm not going to talk about it much. But like right now, just for instance, like in the UFC, John Jones, Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal, Amanda Nunes, and I'm probably missing some others, are all they all are trying to leave the UFC, all of them, and they're all like the top UFC talent. And because of all the noise they're making, it should hopefully make some sort of change in the way that fighters are paid. They want more fighter pay is what they're looking for. Henry Cejudo retired, another one. So like, they need something like that going on in the WWE. I feel like where it's like, yo, we're okay with coming to work, but like if you're not going to test us, if you're not going to let us wear masks, if you blah blah blah, like we need to be sure that our jobs are safe. And obviously they aren't, considering how many people just got furloughed and or fired like just a few weeks ago. So it's not like you can really, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people who probably work there right now that feel probably pretty expendable. And, unless you're in a top position, you have really, you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't. And I know Dylan said, I don't understand why WWE was deemed an essential business. I can tell you as someone in the state of Florida, that was probably a political bribe.
Yeah, it was 100% that if Linda McMahon, that story's out there.
Yeah, I do live in this state, and I can tell you that that's definitely what it was, and there was a lot of outcry locally and statewide about that. But yeah, it's like, and Dylan also said, why do you think Roman Reigns said he doesn't feel comfortable performing? Absolutely. I know he said that it was because of his new twins, and not really because of him. His doctor said he's fine, but to be honest, if I were him, I wouldn't want to be out there. I don't know why Ric Flair's out there. That man's got a big set of balls, I'll tell you what, to go out there with this whole thing going on, severely medically compromised. Like...
Yeah, I think Ric Flair just gives no fucks at this point.
No, he doesn't. At this point, he could be the cure.
Yeah, right, exactly.
He could be the cure.
Anybody can get Rona and just, like, shake it off at old age. It's going to be Ric Flair. The guy survived everything.
Oh, 2 minutes ago, Sean Ross Sapp. Guys, follow Sean Ross Sapp. He's the man. Testing of WWE talent for COVID-19 has ended, and those waiting to be tested were instructed to come back at 7 p.m. So I guess they're going to do another round of testing. I'm not sure when it's going to come back, but yeah. Oof.
Good. At least they're doing.
Maybe that means they'll at least have results. Hopefully by today. I mean, I'd like the talent to know, And apparently the talent, people within WWE did not know about this positive test until we did.
Right. Yeah, I saw something about. I think it was Jeremy Lambert, also from Fightful, that I saw a tweet about that. I think he said that Ryan Satin got the story before the performers did.
I'm not surprised.
And then David Bixenspan quote tweeted it, saying something along the lines of like, he did. It was like one of those tweets where like, I'll just pull it up.
Ugh.
Was
I don't even want to see that guy's name right now, not David.
Ryan said, "You just
Disgusting.
what?" So Bix, where was it? Well, this guy just tweeted.
He tweets and deletes so
fucking much.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know where it went. But he had a tweet that was like, Ryan, how you spell the stuff with like it's like uppercase and lowercase letters all over the place to make you look funny. It's like, but Ryan Satin doesn't work for WWE. You know what I mean?
It's so messed up. Not what David said, but the fact that they gave him that information just to like prevent it being leaked, because they know the performers would rather go to like Sean. Like,
here's another thing too is like, if I'm an upper tier performer like Roman Reigns, for instance, like I'm doing exactly what Roman Reigns is doing. Like I'm doing exactly that because he's the one with all the leverage in that situation. Like if the WWE released Roman Reigns over this, he'll show up in AEW so fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's the quote unquote valued performers out there that the WWE has that are, I mean, they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm interested to know what's going on with Kyle O'Reilly. I hadn't seen anything, but like, he has diabetes, so like I know like there's like the added risk there. I don't know if he's.
Oh, absolutely.
But I just, the reason I bring it up is because I haven't seen him on NXT, and like Undisputed Era has been heavily featured, but he hasn't been there, so I don't know if that is the reason why he hasn't been on TV. And it would be a good reason to not be on TV. I just recognize that recently.
Yeah, like I said, like I think we've said, and I know we've said it, but I think it's important to keep bringing up is that we are not mad at the performers. We're not blaming the performers. Like I was saying before, like think about Publix. If Publix were to say, hey, we don't want you wearing masks, and we're not going to test you, but we want you to be like touching each other, and we want you to be within close proximity to each other and sweat. I mean, obviously Publix wouldn't want their employees doing that, but I'm just saying, like we want you to be within the 6 feet margin of error. We want you to, like, we're going to take your temperature, but if you're a little bit high, it's okay. But we're not going to test you guys, and we're just going to like leave it up to that and whatever. There would be such a public outcry. Like, there would be a huge outcry.
Hashtag cancel Publix.
No, don't even.
Well, no, I'm saying that's what it would be. It would be like Publix,
No.
like Publix is over party or whatever that everyone likes to fucking do on the internet.
Yeah, Publix is over party. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'm not saying that testing is perfect. There are errors. There's, they can get it wrong. Excuse me, my stomach went, hey. It's not perfect. Testing is not always accurate, and it doesn't prevent the spread of the virus, but it creates an awareness. It creates a cessation of possible continuation of spreading, because if you know that you're positive, you know to self-isolate, you know to not come in contact with people that you probably would if you didn't know. So while it doesn't prevent it, it can help prevent the spread, and I think that's the most important thing. And we'll see if we know how many more people test positive. I guess I will never know if Mr. WWE don't work for WWE but kind of work for WWE is reporting it, because we both have each other blocked. I guess I won't find out, but I don't really care. Whatever. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but it's scary. It's scary. It makes me sad, because I want them, and I appreciate what they're doing so much. I appreciate all the wrestlers putting their lives at risk, literally, and their families' lives at risk to make us happy. I mean, for the most part, a lot of us will poo-poo on some of the stuff they're doing, but that's just part of the biz, I guess. And then this happens. And it makes you kind of think, like, is it really worth it? Especially if there's an outbreak. I wouldn't be mad if they took like a 2-week break, you know, had a mass sanitation of the performance center, made everyone self-isolate for 14 days, and then come back. I wouldn't be mad. I'd completely understand.
You know, someone just mentioned me in a tweet a minute ago. Let me see if I can find... Where did it go? Oh, whoops. Notifications. Here we go. I'll pull this up. So, Ryan Mack here. He's a good dude. Been on... I don't know if he still does a podcast or not anymore. Ryan, if you're watching this, but he used to do a podcast with my friend JT, Marks with Mikes. JT still does the show, but Ryan just sent me this. Says they should just give their people... This is in reference to the WWE. They should just give their people the time off to be safe and spend it with their families instead of making this awkward, unwatchable product. Give people time to miss it.
People time to miss it.
I mean, I've been saying that for a while, though, too, where, like, I would have no issue with some sort of off-season, and just in general, for pro wrestling. And, I mean, I like having it weekly. It's, like, something I've watched it since I was, 6 years old or whatever. Mm-hmm. Every few days, or once a week, whenever it was available. But, like, when the UFC took their small break during this, because, there was, like, basically... give or take like a month and a half, 2 months or so, where like didn't really have anything going on, and shows kept getting booked and canceled, and things kept changing. But when the company came back after even just that short break, everyone was crazy to see it again. You know what I mean? Like we were all hyped that UFC was back.
Yeah,
it's a short break. Like if the WWE did something like that, I think it would be a great idea. So Ryan, I completely agree with what you're saying here.
Yeah, and I'm putting in the chat, this whole episode will probably be instantly demonetized because of the subject matter. So I know not everyone has the means, but a super chat would be so beneficial right now. Obviously, no forcing. Obviously, we're not about that, but I just thought I'd bring it out there too, because of what we're talking about and properly by YouTube is being demonetized to prevent the spread of misinformation. Which is okay.
That's just Jessi saying that, not me. I make all my money off of YouTube. I don't want this out there. This does not represent me.
But yeah, but you're right. The subject matter, Jesus. The off seasons make you miss something. It really does put it into perspective. It makes you appreciate it. Honestly, I feel like the fans kind of need it too. Because, and I'm guilty of this completely. I'm speaking of myself. We're bitter. We're angry. We're negative people. We like to poo-poo on things more than we like to praise it. Just super negative. And I feel like if they were to have like a little break, a 2-week break, you know what you can do? Why don't you air the Undertaker Last Ride thing where he's allegedly supposed to announce his retirement? Like that would get ratings. More ratings than it would on the network. Like, there's so many different things they can do. Re-air some of the old WrestleManias or whatever that they've been airing on ESPN sometimes. It starts trending on Twitter instantly. They have so many options that they could do. We can pick up the storylines when we left off. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to be mad, but maybe we do need a little bit of a break. For the health and the safety of the performers, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. Dylan's Wrestling Stuff says, Hello Jericho said that he wants Roman in AEW. I saw that interview with, I believe it was with What Culture. That was a really good interview. I'd love to see Roman in AEW. Roman Reigns is, I said it, I'm not going to be able to find it, but Roman did the thing with, or he did the cameo for Sean Ross Sapp and Jimmy Dan Bottom.
Yes, that was so funny.
I commented underneath it and actually got a good little amount of attention on the comment, and it was, I basically said, like, why doesn't WWE let Roman be this guy? Like, this is, like, him just sitting there, like, being, like, real. Like, he seems like, Roman Reigns seems cool as hell. Like,
so cool.
As, like, a real person. But, like, his WWE character is so, like, robotic and, like, boring because he's just doing what WWE is basically scripting him to do. And it's like, if he was in AEW, because here's the thing that people I think underestimate about Roman Reigns is the dude is like an elite level athlete. Like that guy could be, he could be going out there and having really, really good match. I mean, he's had some good matches in the WWE, but like he could be having consistently good matches in AEW, given creative freedom and like the other people he could work with and and show like his actual athletic ability versus just doing his routine of what he does. And I'm a Roman Reigns fan.
Yes.
I know I'm. As far as a performer goes, like as a fan, like he's like I like him, but he's not, because of the way he's booked and stuff. It's kind of like not can't get that into it. But like knowing his like battle with leukemia and leukemia, like the multiple battles with leukemia and stuff like that, and seeing the way that he's like prioritize his family during like this situation and stuff. Like, regardless of what you think about him as a performer, it's similar to John Cena. Like, you have to respect these guys. Like, these are guys like Roman Reigns are like, he seems like a fucking good dude.
Yeah.
And he seems like the kind of guy I would love to like kick back and drink a beer with. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
A cool fucking guy. But you don't really get that from what he does on WWE. On WWE, the last time I watched SmackDown, because it's been a long ass time since I watched SmackDown. Last time I watched SmackDown, he was getting dog food fucking thrown on him, and it was like,
oh man,
and I was like, I'm out.
That was fun.
I'm out.
Right.
Done. Like that. That's what you're doing with this guy, making him eat dog food. Matches where the stipulation is you have to eat dog food if you lose. Like,
okay, that was low key. Like I was interested. It was juicy. It was juicy. I was a little interested.
What, the dog food?
Yeah, it was weird, but it was funny. I could laugh.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what did you just say though? You said it was juicy, like the dog.
It was
food
juicy.
Good? Is that what you're saying?
No. Ew, no. I'm saying the story. The storyline was
the story was juicy.
Like not.
The story was juicy. I'm gonna make you eat dog food.
It's like Jackass.
Huh?
It was like watching Jackass.
It was not like watching Jackass. Alright, WWE Demon Diva says, Roman is the coolest. I started a Roman Reigns gives me Ladywood hashtag when I met him for the first time, and he said, how's that Ladywood now? LOL, honestly the coolest dude. That's hilarious. I'm assuming you named your dog after Roman Reigns. I don't know if that is the reason. I don't know if it's just a coincidence. But
oh, and then she said last time I saw him again, it was like my 4th time meeting him. He was like, so good to see you again. Bring it in. And they hugged me, and then I became pregnant. That is so good. How cool is that some of these performers like remember people? Like imagine how many people they meet. Like imagine how special you are, girl. Like he remembered. Yeah, you met him 4 times, but how many people do you think he sees over and over and over? You left an impression on him, and that's so cool. And I feel so bad forever disliking him. And I think it really does go to show you how, I guess, good. I guess it's kind of technically it's bad storytelling that WWE says, but they can convince you to dislike someone, even unintentionally, so well that I did not like him at all, and now I'm like the complete opposite. I have so much respect for him, like seeing him, because I don't think I ever really saw him outside of WWE, but seeing him, like, just the way he acts, the way he's, like, no, I'm not going to buy that for you, honey, not right now. No, she wants me to buy her some extras in a game.
oh, she's getting fucking freemiumed?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyways, like he is just
Okay,
so...
God's plan. Thank you for letting me know there's an echo. I tried to fix it. Hopefully it's fixed. If it isn't, let me know again. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
And we're not in a cave. Fuck you, man. No, but thank you for the feedback. We really appreciate it. I need to know, because there's no other way of me knowing if there's audio issues.
Yeah. So the way that he talks, he seems so down to earth. Just really cool. Like, think about it. He was like the most hated dude in like WWE for like the longest time. I remember being at WrestleMania 33 and he booed out the building when he beat Undertaker. He takes that as like water off his... I'm sure it affects him, but you wouldn't know. Like his perspective and his maturity and his gratitude are so profound that it's something to look up to, I think. And I feel bad for ever believing the anti-hype.
It was warranted though, because
Yeah.
the big problem with the career trajectory of Roman Reigns was when he came up with the Shield, they were incredible. Like the Shield is, people in hindsight, it's been like soiled a little bit, I think, in hindsight, because like they tried to like reband the group a few times and it didn't work, and like since then, you know, Moxley has left and stuff, and like but what, as it was happening, that original Shield run, and you have to keep in mind, like I was around for like, you know, the later versions of the Four Horsemen. I was around during the entire NWO storyline, the entire DX, all the DX stuff, you know, all this stuff. I would put the Shield's original WWE run up there against any of those. Like, their matches they were having, the way it built 3 guys into main event performers that came out of nowhere. I mean, I knew 2 of them from the indies, and then one was, you know, through the developmental. But there's the way that group worked, and the way that Roman Reigns was used within that group was perfect. Like, he was like the guy who came in, like Ambrose and Rollins went out there and just did everything that they did in just incredible matches, and then Roman would come in, he'd hit him with like that finishing spear, his super punches, like his aura, and like the way he carried himself. Like the 3 of them played off each other perfectly in that scenario. And I think the problem was Ambrose and Rollins were ready for that main event spot all along. Roman was still learning, and he wasn't at that level. These other guys had been doing that on the indies and stuff for years and had all this experience, and they were ready. Roman just wasn't ready yet. They pushed him too much too fast and just down everybody's throat, and everyone just like resisted it because we felt like he wasn't ready and there were other people that were ready. So none of this stuff was actually his fault. What's Scarlett doing? What game she got?
Well, now she's got my concealer. She's got my makeup. Hold on. No, Scarlett. Look, it's got a really nice, sharp... oh, I disappeared.
Demon guys hate Roman Reigns the same basic bitches hate supermodels.
It's so true.
I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not jealous. I mean, I am jealous of his looks, I guess, to a degree. Dude. But, like, I'm not necessarily...
Mommy, guess what?
What?
I don't know if I agree with that. I know what you're saying, though. I get the joke that you're saying.
Open your eyes.
Yeah. But it's true, he wasn't really, in the Shield, he wasn't really ever, like, pushed, so to speak, as, like, oh, this guy's gonna be the main guy. Like, I would have expected, like, Ambrose.
Well, towards the end he was. He was definitely the one that was spotlighted.
Yeah.
But yeah, at first it seemed like Ambrose was gonna be, like, the leader of the thing. I think that's how it was originally positioned. But, yeah, Demon Diva, LOL. You get the point. Yeah, I get the point. I mean, I'm more jealous of a guy like Matt Riddle, for instance. The dude who can just smoke all the weed in the world and still be, like, the biggest ass kicker, but at the same time the most laid-back, coolest guy. He's another guy, like, I've met him in person, and, like, just a fucking great dude. Great guy. Pretty much all the shows I've ever seen him at, his family's there, too. I mean, just, like, super supportive and stuff. Like, that's the kind of guy I would strive to be like. A dude who is a legitimate badass, good-looking dude, fucking shredded, great at what he does for work. He was a great MMA fighter and he's a great professional wrestler. And he's a nice, beloved dude who has people that care about him. I mean, that's the kind of guy I'd be jealous of. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But not jealous, but strive to be like, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to close my eyes. What are you doing? Your game is just waiting for you. Yeah. Matt Riddle, bro. I love that video clip of him going, why don't you just, like, find something better to do with your time, bro? I use that all the time. No, I'm not about to hang up. No. We still have a whole pay-per-view to review.
Oh, yeah, I can get that pulled up right now, actually. So, this is a good one more reminder before we get into this. I'll mention the super chats one more time. This is the best time to do these when we're going over these reviews, because if there was something you didn't like about the show, something you did like about the show, someone that won a match that you really wanted to happen, something you have thoughts or questions about the WWE Backlash show, if you want to make sure that we get to those, super chat is the way to do that.
Do you like super chats? Scarlett, do you like super chats? No? Okay, just kidding.
Get out of here. All right, so
Yeah, get out of here. What? Do you like super
so
chats? Don't stick your tongue out.
we'll start at the top, or the bottom of the show, and work our way to the main event. Pre-show match. So this initially on the pre-show was initially part of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, I actually tweeted out when this happened. I was like, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous. Like, Apollo Crews, Andrade, Angel Garza, Zelina Vega, and Kevin Owens, who was on commentary. Like, how are none of these people, quote unquote, like, good enough to be on the main show? Like, you got 5 of the best performers. Was it 5 total? Crews, Andrade, Garza, Zelina, Owens. Yeah, 5 of the best performers in the world, not just in the WWE, the best performers in the world. And they're relegated to the pre-show, and obviously that's how much they care about the United States Championship still. I chose Apollo to retain in our predictions. I think you did as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about this match?
I did not watch it. I did not realize I was giving my child a bath, so I don't know what happened.
It was a decent match for what it was, 7.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right person won. I will say this. I mean, the more I see, I've been saying it for a while, but like the more I see of Angel Garza, the more like I really think they can really do a lot with that guy. Yeah. I always get confused with him and Humberto Carrillo's lineage to Hector Garza, because I was a big Hector Garza fan, and he was like kind of one of the lesser known WCW cruiserweights, having a pretty good run in TNA in the X division, especially during like the World Cup days and stuff. So I've always liked Hector Garza, and I always loved his moonsault, and I love that Angel Garza and Humberto both use that, and they both do it justice. They both do it very well. But I always forget, like, I think Angel Garza is Hector's son and Humberto is his nephew. I could be mixing it up. But regardless, Angel Garza reminds me a lot of Hector Garza in a lot of ways, and I really, really like that.
Oh, Dylan with a super chat. Thank you, Dylan. I give Apollo 3 weeks until he loses the title. Sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I feel like they'll give it to him just long enough, and then they'll strip it from him. I hope he has a few title if they continue with filming, which if they take a break, it's okay. Scarlett, don't throw things, please. I know you're just celebrating, but you don't throw shoes to celebrate.
Celebrate.
It's my life.
Shoe.
Oh, Demon Diva, time to go walk Roman. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Give Roman our love. Give him some treats for me.
Yes, thank you, Demon Diva, for joining us. And I'll let you know, I'm like very close to like probably getting a Yorkshire Terrier of my own. So like I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And every time I see Roman on social media, I want one even more. So like, if I wind up getting one, our dogs are going to wind up being best friends. But
yes.
But thank you, Demon Diva, for the super chat, and thank you for us.
And thank you, Dylan, too.
Yes, and Dylan, thank you. Yeah, how many weeks will it be before Apollo Crews will Apollo lose?
Oh, you cruise, you lose.
You cruise, you lose.
Oh.
Get a Yorkie. We can exchange dog pics every day. LOL.
Yes.
That's pretty much what I plan on doing. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get one for sure or not. But like I've got the bug.
Aww. Me too.
I'm gonna load the timeline now with pics now to force you to get one. I mean, if you do that, because I don't use TikTok. I know that's where like you do most of your stuff with him. But like I just can't. I'm on the internet too much, so like I don't do TikTok, but I do actively check your Twitter to see if you're uploading videos of Roman and stuff. So like, you can even tag me in them if you want, like just so I don't miss them. I legitimately enjoy watching the life your dog is living.
Sorry, my daughter's playing my very expensive guitar. Girl, Scarlett.
She's not bad. She's better than me.
Can you not touch that, please? You can go play the other one. You can build the one that has your name on it. Or you can go play the one that has your name on it that me and Papa built. It's the red one. That one over there. You're just playing it.
Even with a smiley face.
Oh, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long he lasts with the title. Like I said, I hope, barring, Miss Rona circumstances, it'd be interesting to see how many defenses he gets. I'd like to see him retain it a few times before he does lose it.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him get a good run. I mean, he deserves a chance for sure. Like,
sure does.
He's been talented, back to his days as Unionization on the Indies and stuff. He was always a guy that had a ton of potential. Super. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope he has a good run for his sake. I really do. But it's just hard to put a lot of faith in a lot of this stuff until we kind of see how it plays out. After that, we had Bayley and Sasha Banks retaining the women's tag team titles over Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and the IIconics, the team of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. I honestly don't remember much about this match.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't remember what I had some people over to watch the show, so maybe I was not paying very close attention. I think part of it too is like I was so sure that Bayley and Sasha were gonna retain that it was just like it wasn't like super invested because I didn't really think that anything. I didn't really see much happening. Plus, I've said it before. I think Billie Kay is the worst performer in the whole company. So it's like it's just tough for me to get into it. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that Sasha and Bayley retained. I feel like it's the right move, dude. If you saw the match better than I did, if you got any thoughts on it, that'd be great to hear.
I think that Peyton Royce definitely, to me, the takeaway was Peyton Royce really solidifying herself that she could definitely be a singles competitor because I think that she's improved a lot. I thought that she did really good. I thought it was fun. It wasn't the best match on the card, no, but for like a triple threat, I guess, or yes, it was a triple threat match. It was really fun. It was very dynamic. They're in the bag in the pantry. Sorry, I'm thirsty. I thought it was fine. There wasn't too much bad stuff. Dylan with another super chat. Thank you so much. The IIconics, the Idiotics, the Moronics, whatever you want to call them. They're horrible. You can be joking me. You can be joking. I love them. Not for their wrestling, but just like for their accents.
I'm with you, Dylan. Thank you for the super chat. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I think it's stupid. I'm not entertained by it at all.
Really? I mean,
no.
I don't really know what else
they're not good at wrestling, and they're annoying on the microphone. I mean, they're both attractive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're both attractive, and they're both probably really, really nice people. It's just I don't. You know what I mean? If I want to watch women's wrestling at this point, like WWE just really isn't. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are certain WWE performers that I definitely am into. Sasha and Bayley are still very solid. Charlotte's great. Asuka's great. They got great talent there. I shouldn't say that. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little too used to watching, like, Impact's division that's just been killing it lately and stuff like that. I just don't have time for the IIconics at all. But I will say, I mean, Peyton Royce, though, I mean, I could see a scenario, you brought it up before, where maybe Billie Kay manages Peyton Royce as a singles.
That's what I was about to bring out.
I'd be interested to see how that turned out.
Yeah, I think it would be like, I feel like that's the next step, honestly, with the IIconics, because there's only so much you can do with coming out and saying, IIconic! Even though they're really fun. They're super fun. They make me smile. They bring me so much joy. even then, like you said, you have like a Charlotte, you have Asuka, you have in a year or so Becky, you have Alexa as a singles competitor, Bayley and Sasha as singles competitors. You have so many talented women. You've got all the women in NXT. Oh, you got Bianca Belair. Where has she been?
That's a really good question. I do not know where she's been. Because they brought her up to Raw, and then she was with the Street Profits.
Why hasn't she stopped this madness with the Street Profits? That's why I put my background like this, because I missed that. I missed that. I missed, remember when they could wrestle, because they actually can wrestle, because they're incredibly talented and they're super fun and they can actually be dynamic outside of the ring?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially Montez Ford. That dude is going to be money as a single star.
Yes. Sorry, I went, but yes. This match was great. They've been teasing. I was listening to Brian and Vinny review this Scarlet. Please do not throw M&Ms on my bed. I have to sleep there. This is Scarlet. Hold on a second.
But yeah, let me know in the chat what y'all thought about these matches. Dylan's Wrestling Stuff says, where's Bianca? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It says, where is Mustafa Ali? Another great question. We've speculated, myself and Jesse, for a while that Mustafa is the hacker, but they still haven't revealed who that is, and didn't make any mention of it, to my knowledge, on Backlash, which was a little confusing. So, I don't know where Mustafa Ali is, but I hope to see him pop up soon, because he's super talented.
Yeah, and he wears a mask.
Already, yeah, he was wearing a mask before.
He has that super dope light up one.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that tag team match. So, moving on to, I got a lot to talk about on this one. I'll let you go first, though, to get your thoughts out there.
No, you go first. Go right ahead.
Sure. So, the Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy match. I will say this, I thought it was a good match. It was actually a better match.
Yeah, it was.
I just don't understand the booking. It's like the whole thing was revolved around Jeff Hardy being like this loser for his history with like drugs and alcohol, and Sheamus just like winds up beating him anyways. So it's like, so what was the point of all that? Like to beat Jeff Hardy even worse into the ground? Like I just don't. Right? I don't get the point. And I also feel like this, regardless of Jeff Hardy's history, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, like I don't think this is going to be the last time that he gets in some sort of issue. I don't think it's always going to be as serious as getting like DUIs, which are very serious. But I don't think the guy's ever going to just like stop like smoking weed and like doing what he does. Like he is who he is, and I have no problem with it. But the thing with Jeff Hardy is like, I feel like as long as you have him on your roster and he's capable of wrestling, you have to use him to a certain level because he is still ultra popular. Like,
yes,
still a much bigger star than Sheamus has ever been. And I know Sheamus has been a multiple-time world champion, yada yada, and so is Jeff Hardy. But like, still to this day, you can probably ask just like a random ass person on the street who doesn't watch wrestling, like, most people, like Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, that kind of stuff. But a lot of those people will know who Jeff Hardy was. Like, way more people know who Jeff Hardy was than, like, you realize. Because people remember, him being the crazy one during the Attitude Era and, like, the Hardy Boys and stuff. Like, people, like, so my point is, I wouldn't have Jeff Hardy out here taking L's to Sheamus. I just don't think it does any good for anybody.
Oh, my God.
So I don't understand the reasoning for the storyline. I don't understand the reasoning for Sheamus winning. I mean, if they extend the feud long, right up in your face.
And my daughter is in my lap, too. This is my life.
If they extend the feud longer, like, I don't see the point either. Like, if Hardy, like, eventually gets the win, I still don't know, like, what point has been proven and the story still isn't good. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of the story, but I was a fan of the match. I just wasn't a fan of the outcome of the match. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
Well, here's the thing, and I said this on Twitter, and my daughter's playing on my phone, so just ignore that. Here's the thing. Even though, okay, sure, Sheamus won, right? Ding, 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 1, 2, 3, whatever. Jeff Hardy, like, technically peed on Sheamus and claimed him as his own. Like, that's alpha stuff right there.
Alpha.
Like, he won by default, by alpha male status. He peed on him. I don't know.
If it was a golden shower match, he had already won.
Oh my god, yeah, right? But seriously, like, I guess they're trying to say if you drink and drive, you lose. Like, there are no winners when you drink and drive. I don't know.
If that was the message they were trying to get out there, that is one of the dumbest ways they could possibly put that message out there.
I'm assuming that's how he okayed it. I don't know. Maybe this is supposed to send a positive message. Like, I don't know. Maybe they're going to do a storyline where he goes and gets help. Maybe that would be a great way to raise awareness. Maybe they say he goes away and gets help and then comes back and he wins everything. And they say, if you have a problem, go get help and you'll be a winner. I don't know. I'm really reaching here.
Really stretch. Yeah. I get what you're saying, though. Like, maybe this is like, now he's like, yeah. Maybe now he's hitting his rock bottom, like no pun intended, like rock bottom. But he's hitting his personal rock bottom now. He's known as this drug addict, drunk loser, and he just got bro kicked in the face, and yeah, he's just this big loser. He's down in the dumps. His brother left him, and now he's worried about if they're gonna take his job. Took my job. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like you have to. I mean, even with his history, even with what he did in Impact Wrestling, going out there all fucked up and couldn't wrestle Sting, even all of that, I still say, if Jeff Hardy's on your roster and he's able to wrestle, he's too valuable to just like treat like a lower mid card guy. As far as I'm concerned, he's established himself as like a lifelong main event level guy, and I know that could be maybe a little bit polarizing of a statement to make, because I know there's a lot of people that don't like Jeff Hardy, and I don't think he's like the best wrestler in the ring either. I just respect him for what he is. Like, he's an attraction. He's very well known, and he's provided a lot of incredibly memorable moments throughout WWE history. And to just kind of treat him like he's not that big of a deal. It's almost like when Kurt Angle, they had Kurt Angle back for his last run, and they have him wrestling fucking Baron Corbin in his retirement match and shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Fucking Kurt fucking Angle. Like, how is this guy out there?
And then they furloughed him.
Huh?
And then they furloughed him.
Yeah, they furloughed him and then brought him right back.
Yeah.
Apparently he turned down the Matt Riddle manager storyline.
Whoa.
Apparently they offered him to be Matt Riddle's manager on SmackDown. For various reasons, Angle said he didn't do it, but that'd be interesting to see, though. I don't necessarily want to see Angle wrestling anymore, but like when they had him as a wrestler, I couldn't believe it. And also, it's like, remember like the Jason Jordan's son thing and all that? It's like, how fucked up could you have, fucked up a return? How could it? So that's kind of how I feel about Jeff Hardy. Same kind of line of thinking.
Interesting. It's interesting that they would. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Asuka retaining her title over Nia Jax in a count out? 10 minutes.
Wow, I felt like it went way longer than that. I was really worried that this was going to be a squash. I was really worried that something was going to happen. The finish, the finish was meh. Could have done without it.
Especially because they ran it back last night, right? And Asuka won. So why didn't they just do it on the pay-per-view?
Right. However, pretty good match. Had me spooked a few times. Definitely was better than I expected, especially from Nia Jax.
Give me just 1 second. You keep going. There is a wasp about this big.
Oh my god!
Right there. I'm gonna try to get it. So.
Yeah. Dave, are you allergic?
But yeah, go. I can still hear you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm scared for Wasp. Anyways, I thought Nia Jax did pretty well. Get it? Yes. Get it. I thought Nia Jax did pretty well in this match. It was interesting to see Asuka do so well against someone like Nia Jax. I think that's a big challenge when you have to act believable. You act believable against a larger opponent. Scarlett, honey, please. I cannot have you yelling right now.
Owned.
Yes.
I will also put this out there. Normally, I save insects. Like, I literally, like, will put, like, spiders, like, on, like, a piece of paper and, like, bring them outside. I do not do that with creatures with large horns. Or, large,
Large horns.
large horns. You know, if there's a risk of me getting, like, fucked up by this thing, I've got to take it out. That thing was legitimately about this. That was one of the biggest wasps I've ever seen in my life. Couldn't risk it, so sorry that y'all had to listen to that there. Sorry, PETA, if you happen to come across this.
It's a wasp.
It's still a living creature. Not anymore.
Yeah, no more. Oh my goodness.
What's Dylan saying? Nia Jax should never get another rematch ever again. She's terrible in the ring. She injures her opponents, and she's effing big. I like you, Dylan. I don't know why you've never been in our chats before.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty much everything you're saying.
I mean, her being big is not a problem to me. Just the fact that she does have a history of injuring people.
Yeah, the effing big part. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, we're not like size shaming here, but yeah, I know her size. In relation to what the issue with her size is that she is much larger and she can easily hurt her opponents. I think that's the point that's being made with that. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. There's not really too much to talk about. I just hope that they let Asuka have a good title reign. I didn't really see. Well, okay, so there was a point to the rematch last night because of the finish at Backlash. But I hope that they can kind of close. I don't know what's next for Nia Jax, but I'd like to see someone else. I'd like to see someone else fight for the championship. That's not Charlotte.
I mean, honestly, like, at this point, I'm fine with Charlotte just, like, always being in a title match. She's so good that I'm just, like, I'm okay with it. I like that basically her gimmick is she's always the champion. Kind of like her father, which I got no problem with that. Dylan says, I'm still waiting on Ronda Rousey to come back. Yeah,
Yes, me
she
too.
does. Huh?
I said, yes, me too.
Yeah, me too. She did very well, in my opinion, her first run with the WWE, especially given her very limited wrestling experience going into it. So, I think she adds a lot to the women's division in WWE, and she would add a lot, especially with Becky being gone. So, it'd be interesting to see that. She's definitely not popping up in MMA anytime soon. So, although maybe now's a good time because Amanda Nunes is kind of threatening retirement, so like maybe Ronda could slide back in there. Who knows? After that, we had Braun Strowman retaining the Universal Championship over the Miz and Morrison in the handicap match. This match went just under 7.5 minutes. As far as what I remember from this match was basically the Miz and Morrison doing all of their moves to Braun Strowman, and then Strowman doing about 2 of his moves and the match being over. So, any thoughts on this one? Oh, jeez. I didn't.
Yeah. Why don't you go first?
Okay. So, I would say, that's pretty much all the thoughts I had, to be honest. Like, the match was kind of a nothing match. It was a handicap match, and, you know, the Miz and Morrison did all their moves, and Strowman just ate them all and beat the former tag team champions by himself. And, Braun Strowman might be the least interesting Universal Champion yet. I don't know. It's a pretty uninteresting list, though. But yeah, a big part of the reason that I'm not watching SmackDown is because I just don't care about him as the champion. So yeah, I understand why they did this match. Thought the match wasn't anything to talk about, and that's it.
I think this should have been a singles match between Braun Strowman and John Morrison, because I think John Morrison could for sure be champion. I loved that music video before. That was so funny.
That was pretty funny. I'll give him credit
That was
for that.
great. They tried to play it on Friday. They tried to play it on Friday, and then Braun Strowman interrupted it. So I knew Braun Strowman was probably going to interrupt it again, but at least they let it play through till almost the end because it was so funny.
Yeah, I did like that. They were trying to be like Lonely Island, kind of, you know.
Yeah, very Lonely Island vibes.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was great. I mean, this match was meh. How long did it last? Wow, they let me
7:20.
Does that include the music video?
I don't think so. But yeah, not a whole lot to talk about there. Dylan's wrestling stuff. Another good comment says, "Listen, Braun should never be Universal Champion. They put him in a comedic role between Miz and Morrison. He runs fast. Yeah, I'm with you. I shouldn't say that Braun should never be Universal Champion. They just did it way too late.
You should have done it when him and Roman were doing the whole "I'm not finished with you yet" thing.
Yeah. Then, or even like he had a chance against Brock Lesnar, like a long time ago in that match where he got punched in the head really hard after he.
Yes. Right.
So. So yeah, I not necessarily against Braun Strowman ever being the champion. I think they did it way too late. And there's been other companies. This isn't just WWE. There's been plenty of companies that have done that. Like John Morrison, who we just mentioned. You know, there was back when he was in Impact Wrestling. He was the Impact Wrestling champion for like a super long time before he signed to the WWE. And one of the big problems with his title reign, in my opinion, was Brian Cage, who was clearly ready to be the champion, lost Morrison over and over and over again. And then by the time he finally beat him for the title, nobody cared. And then he wound up losing the title shortly after to Sami Callihan because it wound up being kind of a flop. And it was because had so many chances and just couldn't get the job done. And I feel the same about Braun. I feel like he's just the default no crowd champ. He's the same kind of like Drew McIntyre. I think they've done a lot better job with Drew McIntyre. But the thing is like the guy, everything I've already said about Strowman, and then you also add on to the fact that he only got the match at WrestleMania for the title because Roman didn't show up, and it totally blew up the whole Fiend storyline as well, and all that's. I mean, a lot of Braun Strowman's fault, but most of it isn't. Almost all of it isn't his fault, actually. But it just puts him in that spot in my mind where he should have been something really special, but they dropped the ball on it.
They like almost reverse Rusev him. Like they made him champion. Like Rusev should have been the champion, but. No, you can't see the colors in my palette right now. They should have like made him champion when he was over, but they made him when he was not over.
Yeah, when he had just lost the Intercontinental Championship to Sami Zayn and stuff. Like, I mean, it's not like he wasn't really in a good spot. And then they never even explained why he got the title shot. They still to this day have never on television explained why Goldberg versus Roman Reigns did not happen at WrestleMania and why Braun Strowman got the title shot. It just never was explained. Ronbo, sports reporter, says we should have guests on like a Zoom number. I could set something up like that. Not for this episode, but maybe a future show. If there's enough interest, I could maybe bring some people on here to. Definitely doable.
Yeah, we could do it. It's not Zoom, but we could do it.
Yeah, we can do it through Skype on here. Next, we had Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE Championship over Bobby Lashley. He, of course, had MVP in his corner. I think on Raw last night, didn't Lashley say he wants a divorce from Lana already? I think they've already said something about that.
I don't know if he said that outright, but I think they should wait until if he becomes champion. I thought this match was great. I loved
This was a very good match. Yes.
This was awesome, but I think so. But here's the thing. Sorry if you hear my daughter like absolutely throwing a fit. We had to lock the door because she was being naughty. So my husband's trying to get away from the door. We're like in a negotiation right now. This was a Paul Heyman storyline. So they could just like drop Lana right out of it. They could just say Lana, I want a divorce and just leave it be. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad. Like, I mean, to be honest, I don't think that Lashley and Lana really made for a good pair on TV. Like,
that was weird. Yeah.
But it's really just like a giant like missed opportunity from so many angles. Like, you do this whole thing where I don't know, it's just weird. Like, I don't know, just the idea that Lana would leave her husband for this dude, and then like they're just like it's just over that quickly and stuff. It's just like it's weird. But I will say this: the match was really, really good. I think this was the one that yeah, that was this match here. That was a great match, though, and they went ahead and finished. Yeah, that's what happened there. There was yeah, it was a really, really good match. I remember thoroughly enjoying this. And then what happened? Lana came out, right? And then like
distracted unintentionally. Until Bobby lost, and I mean it was so great. And then you knew that was going to happen. I mean, there was no way it wasn't.
Right.
But I loved this match. I thought this was great.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Shit finish, but it leaves it open. Leaves it open.
Do you think Lashley's ever going to win the WWE title, like in his career?
It's believable now. I don't know if he will, but it certainly was. Now that he's got MVP, I think that gives him a little bit more push. I think having MVP is kind of a big deal. And I love MVP in this role. I think it's perfect for him. I don't know why they didn't have MVP doing this sooner. I think it's great. It's absolutely perfect. He's great. Like we said before, Bobby Lashley isn't the best on the mic. So, I think...
Well, and MVP was trying to recruit Apollo also on night.
That's right. So we could see another... I feel like there's a lot, though. There's...
Never been a better time ever to reunite the Nation of Domination.
Yeah, right?
Like, Black Lives Matter movement. Like, you don't have to call it the Nation of Domination, but, like, you get together, like a strong group of, like, black wrestlers, and you don't make them, like, the stereotypical, like, you don't call them Crime Time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just push them as just high-level black athletes. Like, because that's what Lashley is, that's what Apollo is. They're just super athletic fucking hybrid athletes.
Yeah. You know what I just noticed? I'm looking at this. They said there was going to be a tag team match on Backlash, and they didn't even put it in these results because it wasn't. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. It's up at the top. But they didn't even put it in here. Sorry.
Well, that wasn't a match, the Street.
No, it wasn't, but they said
I forgot about that. Okay, what were your thoughts on that whole thing?
What?
I thought it was fucking stupid as fuck. So go ahead.
I mean, was it entertaining? If entertaining to you is asking yourself what the heck is happening, and things just keep getting weirder and weirder and weirder, and you're like, okay, what is happening? Like, can we talk about how like the ninja thing was kind of not appropriate in June of 2020? Like that. Like Akira Tozawa speaks perfect English. Why'd they have him speaking Japanese? The whole thing just...
It was terrible. Like there's people.
I walked outside. I was like, I'm gonna go watch abandoned house videos with my husband on the porch because I would rather watch someone walk through a house that's been left untouched for 10 years and go through all the stuff than watch this. Because I was so confused that I almost had a panic attack. I legitimately was like, what have I missed? I was like, have I been in a coma and missed something? Like, I was promised, I think it made me more mad because I was promised a tag team match and I got nothing of the sort. Nothing.
I actually said that, like, because I said I was watching the show with a couple of buddies, and like,
Oh man, that's
said that.
embarrassing.
I was like, imagine if, like, you actually, I mean, it's very unlikely, but like, imagine if you're just like this big Vikings Raider fan, for instance, like you watch them in Ring of Honor, you're like, you watch them in NXT, you're like, man, no matter what, I'm always supporting the Viking Raiders. You guys are awesome. So you buy the pay-per-view Backlash to watch the Vikings Raiders in action, and then that happens.
Did that have Bruce Pritchard written all over it?
I don't know who put that together. I don't care either. I just don't there are people out there that probably really enjoyed it, and I'm not sitting here to knock it. If you liked it, that's fine. I just think, for me, the more they do things like that, the less connected I become to quote unquote sports entertainment. Like, there's just even AEW, right? Like, I consider it to be a much better quote unquote professional wrestling company than WWE. Even when they did like the Stadium Stampede and stuff like that, yeah, there's some goofy shit for sure, but
Yeah.
it wasn't to that extent that as what we saw with like the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. Like,
That wasn't even a match. There was no wrestling.
no,
There was
it's like,
bowling balls to the balls. There was ninjas, giant ninjas. There was.
thing is that ninja, that humongous guy.
Isn't he an NXT wrestler?
Yeah, there was a short
Yeah.
time where Stokely Hathaway was made,
Yes. Yes.
and that is like, I don't know.
I'm insulted.
That's what needs to be happening though, is like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't need to see, because what it reminds me of,
Ninjas needs to
like,
happen.
it reminds me of like the Yeti from like WCW, who was Ron Reese was the actual performer, and he wound up being a part of Raven's flock later on, years later. But the Yeti was this giant mummy-looking thing that came out and basically dry humped Hulk Hogan along with the Giant. They double teamed him in the ring, all weird.
Oh man, that's hot.
It was very strange. But because of that, it's like, no matter who the Yeti was, like, once you found out that Ron Reese and the Yeti were the same guy, you were always kind of like, oh, it's the Yeti. Oh, it's just the Yeti. That's how I feel about this dude.
Dry humping Yeti.
We're all gonna know who this ninja is.
Yeah, it's obvious.
It's unmistakable. The second we see a humongous guy that looks exactly like him on TV, not dressed like a ninja, we're all gonna be like, oh, that was the ninja from Tozawa's thing. Like, immediately.
And he fought the Big Show, didn't he?
Did he?
Like,
Did that happen?
Yeah, the Big Show came out.
I was video editing almost all of last night, so I missed a lot of Raw.
Yes, like there were times like, and I was also watching Abandoned House videos during Raw on the porch. That's like my new thing. Every time I like look up, it's like Big Show and Christian are talking, and I'm like, and then like Ric Flair and Christian are talking. I'm like, bro, am I like back in time? What is happening? It was very bizarre. It was Raw felt like 10 hours. It was weird. But yeah, that whole thing was weird. Unnecessary. Like, okay. I kind of hate the whole like axe throwing, what was it, basketball horse game. But at the same time, it's funny. It's lighthearted. It makes me laugh. It keeps my mind off of, like, the last thing I'm thinking about is all the crazy stuff going on in the world when there's an axe throwing contest at Turkey Lake Park going on for some reason, and it's silly, but to especially make me believe that this is going to be, and stupid me for thinking it was going to be a legitimate wrestling match. When you have that happening, it's like, enough. Stop.
It's enough.
Stop. Stop. It's just going to get worse. I love the Street Profits. I love them. I love them so much, and I want them to be back in the wrestling ring, and the Viking Raiders too, or the Viking. What do they call them now? Viking Profits, Street Vikings. Dylan said cringe, boring. What do you want me to say? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I mean that's how I felt about it. Yeah, this guy's right on the money. Dylan's wrestling stuff. This guy's just reading my mind all day. I mean, because at the end of the day, like,
thank you, Dylan.
All of that, it's not like I want to. I mean, I already wanted to see the Viking Raiders versus Street Profits because they're both really good in-ring wrestling tag teams. Like, I don't need all this stuff to be interested in a match between them. So
it does.
That's where my confusion lies. Is like I get that there's like the character development, I guess, but it's like, man, if you would have told me like 5 years ago that War Machine, their former tag team name, that War Machine would be doing this,
yeah,
I would have literally just laughed. I would be like, yeah, right. Like, what? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There's really not a whole lot more I can say. SNE Network says, good show, guys. Lashley should have a short run. Hope all is well. Thanks, man. I think that's Drew, who I saw that he sent me a couple direct messages on Twitter. I'll if you're still in here, Drew, I'll get back to you about that maybe in the next couple of days. But thank you. Drew, I will say, so I've bought WWE tickets from him in the past. He
oh, cool.
Ticket vendor. Works along with I knew him through Wrestle Rumble from my friend Matt at Wrestle Rumble. Him, and make a really long story short, as a matter of fact, I've told this story before, but like because of knowing Matt at Wrestle Rumble, who's sponsored my podcast forever, I got in contact with Drew, who then got me in contact with Demon Diva, who I met in person at WrestleMania 33 ticket in Orlando.
Nice.
Small world.
Small world indeed.
All right, well, moving on. We got the last thing to talk about here, the main event, the greatest wrestling match ever between Randy Orton and Edge. I'll keep my thoughts on this short because I want to hear what you have to say about this. I will say, so 44, almost 45 minutes. This match was very, 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 very good. It was a great match.
Yes.
It was a great match. I understand they took, kind of the shortcuts and stuff where they were able to reshoot things. I've, heard Edge is injured and all that.
1 second. You talk a little bit. I gotta get something.
Sure. So there was obviously what's the word I'm looking for? There were expectations tied into this match by marketing it as the greatest wrestling match ever ahead of time that pigeonholed it immediately, right? Had they not said anything about that in the build-up, and they just went out and had this match, I would be even more blown away by it, to be honest. I'd be like, holy shit, that might have been one... I'd probably be saying, that might have been one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen in my life. But because I went into it with the expectation of, they're already marketing it like that, the bar was already so high, But I thought the match was it was great. It was a great match. Was it the best wrestling match that I've ever seen in my life? No. But it was very fucking good. It was up there. I mean, it was one of the best WWE matches I've seen in quite a while. It's probably the best match I've ever seen Randy Orton have in his career. And I'm a Randy Orton fan for the most part. But by me saying that isn't a slight. It's just Randy Orton, a lot of his matches are pretty similar. And you can tell he was really, really trying in this one to make it great. And when Randy Orton's motivated, he's trying. He's phenomenal. And so, yeah, I think that this might have been the best match I've ever seen Randy Orton have, which is, honestly, it's more of a compliment than anything. And this is one of the best matches I've seen Edge have. I think he's maybe, Edge has had some good ones, right? He just had some of these TLC matches that were, just legendary, and, his WrestleMania match against The Undertaker, and some of the other stuff he's done. Edge has, I think, a bit, and Orton has had some moments as well, like, street fight with McFoley and stuff. Same with Edge. Edge had a WrestleMania match against McFoley. I think it was WrestleMania 22. Incredible match. So, to say that this is the best match that these guys have had, or one of the best matches that these guys have ever had, both of them, it's saying a lot. I think it's a really big accomplishment on their part to pull it off as well as they did. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I thought it wasn't the best match of all time, but it was one of the best WWE matches I've seen in a very long time, and it was a great match.
I absolutely agree with everything you said. I was listening. Sorry, my daughter has an unexpected dance rehearsal that we didn't realize she has for her recital. So I was trying to scramble and get everything ready and convince my husband to take her. So, so yeah, sorry about that. My apologies to everyone. I was listening, though, to what you said, and I do agree. I think this was probably the best match I've ever seen Randy Orton in, and one of the best matches I've ever seen Edge in. I think they were both great. And it's funny, the vignettes they were showing up to this, the vignettes of the greatest matches that Randy has had, they were all matches that he's lost.
Oh.
So this is a match that he actually won. Not surprised by this finish at all. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. Super fantastic. Great. I thought there were so many little throwbacks here and there. Lots of kickouts. There were a lot of kickouts I did. By the end, I'd say around by minute 30. 35, 40, probably that last like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, how many more kickouts? How many more kickouts are we gonna get here? Like, come on. This is a little much. And then it ended right then, and I was like, okay, cool. I can deal with that. It was a lot of fun. I was sitting there.
I love that. I forgot to mention, but I love that Orton won the match with the leg slap after he was shitting on.
Right? What was that? That was, I don't know if that was just him trolling or what, but he did it again on Raw.
Yeah.
It was weird. I don't know what that was about. I mean, they were kind of trolling all week with the greatest ever kind of stuff. It was great. It was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's a damn shame that Edge tore his tricep on a retake. So what happened was they filmed the match all the way through. So I was like sitting there waiting to see this moment when Edge gets injured. And it didn't really ever happen. Like, I was like, okay. Like, he finished, and I was like, damn, he is such a warrior. I'm like, whoa, look at this guy's got a torn tricep, and he's out here doing all this crazy stuff, kicking out of stuff, and I was just dumbfounded. Then I realized he got injured on a second take, so when they went back and redid something is when he tore it, which makes it not the greatest wrestling match ever because they did retakes. Had they just gone through this match, like, live, I think it would have been just as good. Maybe even better, and maybe Edge would have left unscathed. However, it was still fantastic. And I thought after Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, I was like, dang. I know that finish sucked, but Edge and Randy Orton have a lot to live up to. Like, that was a pretty damn good match. And they did, they delivered. And I really, they put a lot of pressure on them to make a really, really, really good match. And they went out there and they did it. I mean, you can't call a match the greatest wrestling match ever. Like, that really does tell you how much confidence that, like, Vince McMahon has in these two dudes. I know they filmed it weeks ago, but they've...
or how delusional he is.
Yeah, but, I mean... Hell, he was right this time.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, this wound up working out great. But like, if on paper you were to be like, okay, we have to do the best we have to market something as the greatest wrestling match of all time. And if you put a list of like all the performers signed to the company on, and I could choose two of them, Randy Orton and Edge would not be even close to the top of that list for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I think the delusion is. But then like they went out and they fucking executed for sure.
Absolutely, they owned it. It was great. I don't want to like poo-poo on it too much because it was really fun. It was fun. I liked it. I had a great time watching it. I was tired after it. I was like, dang, I'm really tired. But it was fun. And was it the greatest wrestling match ever? No. Did I expect it to be? No.
Right.
I expected it to be good, and it was great. And
it was better than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Yes. Do you think this is leading up to Evolution versus Edge and Christian eventually?
I don't know how that would work.
I don't know. I don't get it either because someone asked me that, and I was like, I don't understand how that would happen. But apparently, that would to me would just be like literally like Randy Orton and Triple H versus Edge and Christian.
Yeah, because I don't know if like Batista's coming back, and I doubt he's coming back anytime soon. And like Ric Flair definitely shouldn't be wrestling anymore. But
he was there last night.
He got involved. I would love to see Flair just manage Orton. Like I'd be fine with that. Like if Flair wants to get involved, I'm more than happy with that. I don't know. Edge and Christian having another match together, that'd be cool. Obviously Christian's getting involved to some degree again. With what he did last night and everything. So I don't know. I'm actually really more interested with Edge's injury because the dude was just
surgery.
Huh?
He had surgery. They showed a picture.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, the dude was out for almost a decade, and now it's like you have this injury that's gonna, take him out of action for like probably like half a year or something. Like, I'd imagine he's motivated to like return and like but it's just kind of shitty. It's like you took this long to come back and like finally made it back, and now it's like you're hurt again. It's like damn. Back to rehab,
I know. So unfortunate.
Yeah.
Props to Edge, though. Hell. He's been out of that ring for a long-ass time, and he came back and he put on that clinic of a match.
Yeah. Yeah, and Edge looks to be in some of the best shape he's ever been in his life right now.
The only thing that really bothers me is he's like literally no body fat on his face, and that like just it scares me because you can see like the hollows of his cheeks, like you can see like the two. When I was really sick, that's what I got. It freaks me out. So you can tell he has like little to no body fat.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully he's doing it like in like a healthy way.
I would assume so. I wouldn't. Men can have a lot lower body fat percentage than women. Women, as soon as you get under 9% body fat, you start to have amenorrhea, which is where like you lose your period and all that fun stuff. But men can get to like 1-2% and be just fine. So, yeah.
I know.
Right?
Well, anyway, that's that for Backlash. Is there any other wrestling stuff, anything wrestling related that you want to talk about before we get out of here today? Before I talk about the sponsors and all that stuff?
No, I just do want to give my well wishes and get well soon to whoever, whose identity should be hidden.
Watch it be Edge. Watch it be Edge. You got like Miami. You got COVID and tour shit.
Like, that would really suck.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Here's some Miss Rona. But I just want to say, I hope you get better. Obviously, this person was feeling ill, I would assume. Unless they just got tested just because. And so they had symptoms. So I really do hope they get better. And my well wishes and my thoughts are with all of the talent that were potentially exposed. The last thing I want to do is see talent get sick. I want to say I'm thankful and grateful for all of the WWE talent and that AEW, NXT, Impact, Huzzah talent that are all out there putting their lives on the line for us. And sure, we'll shit on some of the storylines, but we're not shitting on y'all. So, yeah, I think that's it. And then I guess if you do have any last-minute super chats, any last minute words that you want to get into the show really quick while Steven is doing his sponsors. While he's doing that, send in your super chats if you'd like. If not, no big deal. We'll get to it as soon as we do the sponsors. But this is like your last chance. So do that. And Steven, I'll leave it with you.
All right. So
Finish stretching.
and also, my not getting any sleep the last 2 days is really hitting me right now. You can probably tell, like, I can see it in my face. This eye I can see is kind of like almost like half closing. Also, on top of what Jesse was saying, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and make sure you're following both of us on social media. The reason being, our shows are pretty sporadic, so like we try to keep like kind of a loose schedule and let y'all know when these will happen, but we usually can't tell you when they're happening because we don't know for sure until like pretty, almost right before the show. So that's why it's so important to be subscribed and be following us, because that way at least you know when we're going live. And also make sure to give us a thumbs up, a like on the video. I know we pander to that all the time, but there's a reason for that. The YouTube algorithm, it really likes the interaction. So like if you comment on the video, if you give thumbs ups, it helps out the channel, and it also helps out each video. It helps other wrestling fans find this stuff and helps grow our little community of wrestling fans a little bit easier. And Dylan, before I get into my sponsors, I saw Dylan.
Thank you,
Another
Dylan.
super chat. Thank you very much, Dylan. If you want to add anything to that, he said great video, guys. We very much appreciate that. But if there's anything else you want us to read out loud, you absolutely can. So the first sponsor I've got here for our podcast is WrestleRumble.com. WrestleRumble.com is the place to be for all fantasy pick'em contests for professional wrestling. Their last contest, which just ended the night of WWE Backlash, they gave away 3 World Championship belts. All 3 of these went to one person, which is so insane. Just an insane, awesome prize.
Wild.
I know they got some other tricks up their sleeve as we speak. I stay in touch with Matt over there pretty often. Really great guy. I'm very happy that they're a part of our show here. And what they did, just so y'all know if you missed it, this raffle initially was just $1. So that's all you had to pay. It was $1, and you had a chance at basically like $1,000 worth of replica titles. DeAndre, thank you for joining us again today, man. I can't stress it enough. It's just the best. Make sure to follow them on Twitter at WrestleRumble. Stay up to date with all their contests, and also stay. If you're a fan of our show with me and Jesse, when they have contests, I do give away entries for these. So that's another good reason to stay tuned. Because sometimes they're raffles like this. Sometimes it's pick'em contests where I'll give away free entries for that. So yeah, huge shout out to WrestleRumble. Make sure you guys all give them a follow. Once again on Twitter at WrestleRumble. Want to give a shout out to Heroes and Legends. They are an incredible professional wrestling memorabilia company. They have autographs, DVDs, action figures. I actually have more WWF Just Toys Bendums in the mail from them as we speak. My collection, I don't have my extra camera set up today, but my collection of Bendums is getting very massive. I think I only have maybe 10 or so left to complete the entire set. The problem being that 5 of those are 1,000 a piece. Some of these are so rare that I'm just.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm to the point where I'm gonna be like I said, probably about 5 away pretty soon, and those 5 is just I'll tell you what. This is if we had somebody insane enough to super chat the money for me. I mean, me and Jesse split our money, but if you sent enough money for me to buy one of these, that's the only way.
I will show my tits.
What's that?
I'll show my tits if you give us $1,000.
Sure. I will hang dong. All right, just right here on YouTube. We'll just.
Right here.
We'll end our careers right here, right now.
3 strikes immediately.
But obviously, I never expect anybody to give that amount.
No one would ever.
I'm just saying the amount of money it would take for me to actually finish my Bendham set is just, some of these are just so damn expensive that I just can't justify paying that much. I can't justify paying $1,000 for a Rikishi figure that's this big. You know what I mean? Like, it's. But anyway, Heroes and Legends is a great place to not get ripped off and to buy really whatever you're looking for. They're really nice people. They'll give you a fair deal. They're based out of the Nashville, Tennessee area, as you can kind of see in their banner here. That's the Batman building in downtown Nashville. It's an AT&T building that looks like the Batman symbol. So yeah, Heroes and Legends, they're awesome. They do live auctions and pick'em, or I shouldn't say pick'em. They do like claim sales and stuff on Facebook. So yeah, check them out. Follow them on all social media at HL Pro Wrestling. And last but never least, shout out to my brother Brian Jensen. He is a boxing coach. He corners professional boxers, amateur boxers. He runs classes. He can teach you how to, throw hands, get in better shape, whatever it is, lose a little bit of weight, whatever you're looking to do, whatever your goals are. Brian can help you with that. He's half owner of Steel Boxing and Athletics, a gym here in Atlanta, Georgia. Works with Parkinson's Foundations as well. So he's really got you covered, regardless of what your situation is. You can see here just some. Here's a new video on his page. This is a Lil Rod, actually. Don't know Lil Rod. This guy's awesome. This dude works with. He's like one of the long-time. He's basically like Outcast right-hand man. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A lot of like Atlanta rappers train out of my brother's gym. It's great.
That's awesome.
The dude, I don't know if you remember that song back when we were like in college called "Trickin' If You Got It." It's like trickin',
yeah.
got it, trickin', trick. That dude, I see him like twice a week. Over my.
What?
It's just funny seeing these guys, but yeah, good people. You can see even police officers. This is my brother, an Atlanta police officer right here. These guys got to be ready too. There's a lot of good cops out there too. There's a lot of bad cops. There's a lot of good cops too. And they need to be prepared for like what's going on in the world right now. So you got that. If you're still uncomfortable going like inside to a gym and you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, Brian will meet you. Go hit mitts out in the park, And then if you're not in the Atlanta, Georgia area, this is him with one of his Parkinson's classes. He'll get on a webcam with you on a Zoom call, and I think he had like 30 or so people on this. So like, he can really help you out regardless of what your situation is. Best way to get in touch with him is to hit him up on Instagram. Just follow him at BoxingATL. It's BOXING ATL. Get a knockout workout without getting knocked out. Hit up Brian Jensen. And if you let him know that me and Jesse sent you over there, I guarantee you he gives you a really, really, really good deal on whatever you're looking to do. And also for myself, make sure to give me a follow on Twitter at FightTalk _FIGHT TALK_. And also, I never really talk about this on the show. Give me go check out Fightful Select. They have amazing content. I do the Fightful Select Weekender podcast every Sunday, talking independent wrestling, pretty much everything outside the WWE and main roster. I'm actually outside of main roster WWE and outside of basically AEW. But I do cover Being the Elite. I cover like Ring of Honor, NWA, various things that are on independentwrestling.tv, Impact Wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I talk about on that show. And for the money you spend, you're not just getting my podcast. You're getting my podcast. You're getting Alex Pulaski's Sour Graps podcast. You're getting the various podcasts that Sean Ross Sapp does. You're getting the various podcasts with you get the stuff with Jimmy Van. You got everything, all the news that SRS is breaking. I mean, all that stuff is all there. And this isn't even a Fightful podcast. I just feel like I don't talk about it that much here on this show because it's kind of a standalone thing. But especially right now, it's a great time to be subscribed to Fightful Select. Because
yeah.
A lot of this news with like
the
the COVID and all this stuff, like they're gonna have the scoops. So
yes, they are. Yeah, I'm actually a member of Fightful Select, and I've been a member for well over a year, and I love it. Like I said, I was able to find out the ending to Raw. I was able to find out that Christian was returning, was going to be in action. You're able to find out a lot of stuff before it happens. So it's a really, really, really great. If you want to know the details, if you're surfing on Twitter and you see rumors and you want to know if it's true or not, you want to be a member of Fightful Select. So it
Yeah.
is a really great service, and I'm sure he will have all the news regarding coronavirus and the WWE on there right now. So it is a great service.
100%. There's a lot of credible news sources out there. There's a lot of really terrible news sources too, but there's a lot of reliable sources out there. But I think that Fightful at this point, right now, I really do believe that Fightful is the most consistently reliable source for professional wrestling, and I stand firmly on that. Just as I stand firmly on, I'll talk about MMA on Point for a second because I've been working on these videos so much lately. Like, if you're a fan of mixed martial arts, I firmly believe that MMA on Point is the best mixed martial arts based YouTube channel that there is. I don't think it's even close. I've been working with them for like 3 years, and more recently I've been doing more and more of their videos, their video editing. It's a lot of work. I put a lot of time and effort into it. So if you're a fan of mixed martial arts, I definitely appreciate you checking it out. Just search MMA on Point on YouTube, and we're available on, like, you can find us on like all social media as well. I've been running their social media for like 3 years, and I'm finally taking a step back from that very soon to focus strictly on video editing, which I'm very happy about. So once again, you can support MMA on Point. Check that out if you're a fan of mixed martial arts, or just a fan of high quality, YouTube videos in general. There's other stuff I've got going on. If you're following me on Twitter, I try to keep it. I gotta mention this because I never have on the show, the Sobros Network. I've been doing their MMA podcast once a week. I just recorded one again before we came on here live. So support them, Sobros Network. They need the support right now. Most of their content is sports based. There's not a lot of sports going on. It's pretty common.
Yes, that's important.
Right, there's not a lot of comedy going on, but they're very comedy based. But there's not a lot of like funny stuff going on in the world right now. It's all pretty serious. So I know that their website could use a little love. So check it out, SobrosNetwork.com, and you can check out my MMA show that I do with John Mosley, aka Mose, aka the General. We talk about mixed martial arts once a week over there at the Sobros Network. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's the longest I've ever gone.
It's okay.
Myself.
You do you.
Jesse, what you got going on?
The best place to contact me, if you want to contact me directly, and you want to talk with me, don't know why you would, but if you do, OnlyFans. My OnlyFans is the best place to do that. I contact and talk with people every day. I have never taken a day off. I have a lot of fun stuff I've been dropping. People have been really big fans of the photo sets I've been putting out. They've been lots of fun. And so it's onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye, JESSITHEBUCKEYE. You can also follow me on Twitter. The same Twitter handle as my OnlyFans handle, so onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye, same as my Twitter. Oh, I know, I don't like it. I look like the lady from the Drew Carey show.
You look like you want to hang out with Dalton Castle.
Yeah, like I had switched it already, and I was like, "Damn it!"
No, I like it. It's a very good picture. You look like a pro wrestler, is what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah, it's
Thank
a very
you.
pro
I didn't
wrestling
even think
looking.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you. My makeup's a little blue. I'm not a big fan, but I have this blue eyeshadow palette, and I wanted to use it. So, yes, that's my new picture. I changed it because people were making fun of me for the other one. I'm sure they're making fun of me for this, but I literally I have zero time for bullshit anymore. Like, you know why, but I cannot handle it right now, so I'm not even looking. But OnlyFans is the best way to support me, especially financially. It really is important right now. I've got a lot of medical bills that I've got coming up. My insurance is starting up back in July, and we have to meet like a $4,900 deductible that I'm probably going to meet this year. So any bit helps. And I'm really appreciative of any bit, so that's the best way to support me financially, other than super chats on here. Obviously my Twitter too. Haven't been really doing reaction videos lately. I'm considering maybe only doing them for pay-per-views and maybe Dynamite. I just feel like the WWE ones bring a lot of negativity, so I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But I will always be live tweeting WWE shows and AEW shows and all that. So that's the best way to get to me. Obviously, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you do like what you see here, if you like it, please subscribe. Then you'll get notified 30 minutes before we go live. Excuse me. And you'll get notified as soon as we do go live. Other than following me on Twitter and Steven on Twitter, that's the best way to find out is subscribing. And if you do like what we've talked about, please like this video. It really helps us out with the algorithm. I think you kind of went over that. It helps us out with the algorithm. It gets more people viewing, and we love the chat. We love everyone in the chat. Our chat is always great, and we'd love to get more happy, fun people in there. So those are the best ways to reach me, and I think that's about it.
If you like what you see, turn on your TV and do it.
Yeah.
Email.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Yes. I
Come
remember
on
that.
and Zoom. Come on and Zoom. Come on and
All the colored t-shirts.
Zoom. Zoom. Zoom.
The colored t-shirts, PBS. Oh.
The best color t-shirts was Legends of the Hidden Temple. I always wanted to be on the Green Monkeys.
Did I tell you that, like, you know that, my friend's mom worked for that, and she had all the gear? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm jealous of a lot of this stuff. You have that one friend who has allegedly.
I never messaged her. I didn't find out if she still has that.
Yeah, find out if she has that glowing piece of the Radical Rock for me.
I will. And DeAndre, don't worry about missing the show. It'll be, once we're done, it'll render and it'll be back on. No worries. It's all right. You got a life.
Yeah, no worries at all, man. We appreciate you stopping in, supporting the show. We see you in here, week after week. Dylan's wrestling stuff. I'll read this because I think this goes along with. Since he didn't send anything with the super chat, I'll go ahead and read this out. And treat it as a super chat. It says, "Do you think that they're gonna have a live crowd at SummerSlam before Vince decides to postpone the show?" It's a good question. It's kind of a loaded question, but yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. It's a tough one to answer. I think that they're going to attempt to have fans by SummerSlam, but I think that they could potentially wind up. It might wind up ruining a lot of stuff. And they might wind up having to postpone it at the end of the day. It's impossible to really know how that's going to work out. But my gut feeling is that they're going to attempt to have fans at SummerSlam this year.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what the tests say. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever's the safest, I won't be mad. Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's really what matters the most. Both of the performers and everybody else involved with the company, even the people that never get talked about. Talked about just the people who do the lights and set up the stage and the ring crew and all that. I mean, these people are all at risk. So, they all have families and loved ones and stuff too. So yeah, we're still living through some crazy times, but God, my eye is half fucking closed.
It's okay. Go sleep.
You know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I am going. What time is it right now? 4:00. Good. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go over to Chick-fil-A. And
That's right.
Regardless of what your political views are, all right, I'm pro-gay marriage. I'm very pro-gay marriage. I think everybody should be able to marry whoever they want. And I know that Chick-fil-A doesn't agree with that. But I'll tell you what. Chick-fil-A makes some damn good food, and they are always on point with their staff. Throughout...
My pleasure.
Yep. Throughout, yeah. I feel like it's kind of overkill that they do that, but I appreciate that they're polite. During this pandemic especially, they have figured ways. I go over there, and it's busy. And, I mean, I'm still out of there in a couple minutes. My food's always on point. It's always the right meal. The staff is always incredibly friendly, and they adhere to the distancing, and they hand you your thing in a bucket with you're not even and it's all streamlined. There's multiple people outside. I mean, it's they have it figured. As somebody who used to train people in customer service for years, not at fast food, but in retail, I very much appreciate the customer service level I get at Chick-fil-A. And
Power prayer.
Yeah, power prayer. I'm non-religious. I'm not.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with anything on that end at all. Just strictly good food, good service. I keep going back.
Nugget. Love
so
I'll love here too. You said Jessica stay on Fightful, not here. I don't work for Fightful.
I do, kind of.
Yes.
I mean, they I do, and it's weird. I have a great situation with them and pretty much all the other, like, I have the opposite scenario of like a WWE performer, where it's like I'm employed by Fightful, I'm employed by MMA on Point, I'm not employed, but they pay me, you know, on a schedule basically every month for all the stuff that I do, but like I'm allowed to work elsewhere, like I'm allowed to do this, I'm allowed to do the Sobros Network, I'm not, you know, limited to just this stuff.
You got creative control.
I have creative control, and I really like Fightful, and I really
Yes,
like John.
I love
I really
Fightful.
I really like Alex and Warren. Yeah, I like everybody there.
I'm friends with Fightful.
Good people.
I'm a friend of Fightful.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. You know Sean better than I do, probably.
Yeah, probably.
You spent an actual time with him in person. I still never met him.
Oh yeah, dude.
Talk about Twitter
saved
often.
my ass. Yeah, he saved my ass in Vegas, by the way.
Yeah.
I told you that story. Yeah, he saved my ass. So we went on whack adventures to whack-a-malls. We went to the show together. Yeah, it was fun. And in Chicago too. So yeah,
Awesome.
good dude.
Good people. Good people. Shout out Sean. Shout out Alex Pulaski, Warren Hayes, all those dudes over there. Everyone I'm missing. There's a lot more people than just them. The writers, everyone. Spiteful does a really, really great job. All right, well, that's going to do it. Andrew, you're late, buddy. But thank you for joining us.
It's okay. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we
in
appreciate
and
it.
saying hi.
We
Love
appreciate it. We appreciate it. All love here. Talking about Jess and Fightful. We appreciate you joining.
All love you, bro.
Everyone who's in here. Dylan, DeAndre, Corey, if you happen to still be in here, sorry at the top of the chat.
Love you, Corey.
Everybody's been in here. Everyone who's been supporting. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. I don't know when we'll be back next. Maybe probably like a Thursday or a Saturday type thing.
Yep, probably.
So we'll see what's going on. But that's all I've got. Stephen Fate is here.
Steven.
He was in like our like first few shows. He was in there. I think I sent him something. What did you?
An autograph.
No, it was Bayley. I think it was Bayley. The Bayley figure. Yeah. I just sent off, by the way, Corey Williams about a week ago. I sent him his Ahmed Johnson action figure. So hopefully that's there. Corey, I haven't followed up, but if you're in this or happen to hear this, I hope you got it. And yeah, we'll do some more giveaways again sometime soon. I still have some extra autographs and some little figures and stuff that we can give away on future episodes. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
That's all I've got too.
We will see you on the next chat. Everybody be safe. Have a good one. Stephen Fade, I'm glad that you are enjoying the action figure. Awesome. Glad I went to a good home.
Yay.
See y'all later on in the week.